With my solar company, it was all about money. I wanted to be a millionaire before 30 because I don't know, like, why not? I guess that was just some goal that I didn't really think about, but I sacrificed my whole life for. Once I achieved that when I sold the solar company, I was 310 pounds and I didn't have great relationships. My health was bad. I have 3 amazing kids, an amazing wife, but I just wasn't spending that time, I guess, with them as much because I was just focused on money. Because if I just had the money, then I'd have the time and then we'd go on vacation, then we could be together and we could all be happy, forgetting that I could just be with them every single freaking day, whatever. After I sold after I sold the company, I kind of went through my midlife crisis, I guess, my quarter life crisis. I don't know. And I realized like money wasn't what I was after. I'm after an emotional state, right? Because I recognized that it wasn't what I wanted when I didn't feel the way I wanted to feel. So I'm like, should I just make the goal the feeling then, right? Like if I'm after emotional state, that should be the goal. And I did. And I started seeing a therapist and they walked me through and a business coach. And I did my personal mission statement, which I never did with solar, and then transformed that into the company mission statement. And with Dirty Dough, it was finding joy and fulfillment despite life's dirtiness in myself and others. So it's going away from the delayed gratification, right? It's like, no, it can be enjoyed now. And you don't have to sell your solar company, despite life's dirtiness, it can be had now. So that was a much better indicator for me to know, okay, do we want to sign on this franchisee? Do we want to partner with this person? Do we want to take on this investment money or this one? And instead of which one is going to maybe make me more money, which there's a million factors, it's which one is going to bring me more joy and fulfillment now, right? Despite life's dirtiness. And that was a lot easier. And then I sold that company and then kind of this time around, okay, same thing. Now I'm moving on a little bit more towards not just the emotional state, but thought processes. And like 95% of thought processes, your thoughts are repeated day after day. So how do you break free from that cycle? So now the mission statement is freedom from constant thought to live a life of ease and gratitude. So I just formed another partnership, I guess this week. Last week, we kind of finalized it. And this week we're drawing the paperwork. And how I made the decision was like, man, do I want to give up? The company's going really well. It's early growth, so it's not worth a ton right now, but this is a really good partner. What's one's going to make me more money? Having a lot more and potentially lower pie or vice versa? Or forget that question and which one of these is going to give me more freedom from constant thought? And the partnership absolutely gives me that. And then that was a much clearer decision. And then on the way here to work, I second guess myself again. And then I remind myself again, wait, why did I make the decision? That emotional goal, freedom from constant thought. And it was a lot easier.
The way that you were thinking when you started the solar company, I think that is very typical that's what we see in most business books, at least the old school business books, or if we're in entrepreneurship in school, it's basically the old school way of, I shouldn't say old school, that's terrible, but it's kind of the old school way of thinking about business. And you just need one real good burnout before you realize there actually can be another way to do this.